Hi guys, am I audible to all? Just a quick check so that we can start with the session. Please quickly comment in the chat section. Am I audible? Okay, great. So we will keep it short. I know that you have multiple other commitments. You need time for self-study. So I will not take much time of yours. Basically, we will try to analyze when a question is provided to you. So what is expected from you in these type of questions, where you guys make mistakes, and this will help because already we are doing past papers discussion in our lectures. But this discussion is different from past papers discussion because first of all we're going to make it quick, and secondly, instead of discussing the entire question, we will be discussing the approach towards how to handle the question. So let's start with our discussion. I hope the screen is visible to all. So the first question says, a health insurer has been writing only a private medical insurance product since year 2017. The product has 1 year pre-existing illness exclusion and a fixed term of 3 years. Outline the reasons why the PMI product's actual claim experience may vary from that assumed in the premium basis. So we are talking about a health insurance company and they're writing PMI product, and the product has 1 year pre-existing illness exclusion and a fixed term of 3 years. Now in 4 marks question, they were asking you the reasons, basically reason for actual different from what we are assumed in the pricing. So outlining 4 marks, even if you give just one liner type points, it will work. So in this type of question, we just require one liners to basically discuss the reasons for differences between actual versus expected. So whatever reasons that you think that you have already discussed multiple times, you just have to quote these reasons here. So any changes in legislation, taxation, expenses turning out to be greater than expected, inflation turning out to be greater than expected. So all these reasons you are going to quote here. Like supposingly if I'm saying taxation advantages, taxation disadvantages. So even if you mention like this, you will get marks for the same. So when there are multiple students who are attempting tests and they're not able to complete entire paper in given time frame because they keep on focusing on unnecessary details. So in these type of questions, no detail is required. Simple one liner, reasons for actual versus expected. You can get full 4 marks if you quote 8 reasons. So simple one liner, 8 reasons can give you 4 marks full. Moving on to the second part, you are provided with the following data. All claims reported as of 31st December 2023 have been included in the data. And you can see you have calendar year, number of insured lives, number of claims incurred, and then we have total amount claimed. So company has used an incidence rate of 2.5% per annum, an average claim size of 27,000 in its pricing assumption. Calculate A by E ratio for the calendar year 2022 and expected A by E ratio for full calendar year 2023. State any assumptions that you will make. So this is a calculation based question. Insurer has decided to reprice the product. So basically यहाँ पे हमें actual versus expected का ratio निकालना है, claim ratio 2022 का and expected A by E ratio for 2023. So again it's a simple calculation based question. अब इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन में अगर आपको 6 मार्क्स मिल रहे हैं, यहाँ पर आपको assumption stating पे बहुत ज्यादा फोकस करना है. So the point should be focusing on assumptions and how you are calculating expected, how you are coming out to be actual. So expectations के basis पे ही assumptions हैं. मतलब if you are assuming say Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then again Q1, Q2, तो same assumption अगर आप सबके लिए ले रहे हो, तो सबसे बड़ी assumption तो आप यही ले सकते हो कि we are assuming the rate is same. Whatever else other assumptions we are taking, maybe assumption related to any policy entry, assumption related to exit of the policy. So it's a subjective question based on how you are performing your calculation and whatever assumptions that you are taking. But there are marks for the assumptions. So like you can assume 2 to 3 marks for the assumptions. So need to focus on assumptions. Next, describe how you would go about setting the assumption required to arrive at the expected claim cost per life per annum. Now the question is asking you basically how we are setting the assumptions to arrive. तो यहाँ पर एक तरीके से question is on setting the assumptions. So question is focusing on assumption setting. तो मान लो हम एक एक assumption उठा सकते हैं, हम उस पे फोकस कर सकते हैं कि हमने ये assumption कैसे सेट करी है, ये assumption हम कैसे सेट कर रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर रेगुलेटरी चेंजेस की कोई assumption है तो हाउ यू आर कंसिडरिंग दैट से, क्योंकि PMI प्रोडक्ट है, assumption related to medical trends would be there. So we are considering past trends, say we are considering price inflation, we are considering earnings inflation, we are considering changes in underwriting. That can be one thing that can be used to set the assumptions. So basically, in this type of question, take different headings and try to comment on that based on the headings that you are taking. Last part was explain how you would calculate the embedded value of the insurer. You should list all the relevant assumptions that are required to calculation. So आपको पता है embedded value is basically shareholder own share of net assets plus present value of future share profits arising on existing business. तो आपने दोनों को explain करके अब इस केस में हम कैसे निकालेंगे, हम कौन सी assumptions use करेंगे, जैसे expected amount of shareholder profit चाहिए होगा हमें, and basically when you are calculating present value of profit we need to make assumption on discount rate, तो उसकी assumption भी चाहिए. It's important that the reserves which you are using are the same as those with the same reserves are used in net assets and same reserves are used in the present value of future profits. So multiple assumptions. Again, this type of question was subjective based question asking you to comment based on the data given to you, to make assumptions based on the data given to you, and the more detailed your assumptions would be, the better you will be able to comment for the fourth part, sorry. So 21 marks. I would not say a straightforward question, completely application style question. Less knowledge, more of application required in this type of question. So knowledge was only required for the first part. Next question, a health and care insurer writes accelerated and standalone critical illness, income protection and PMI insurance products. Describe how the reserves for the relevant products would be affected by following trends. So there are three trends: improvement in recovery rates from cancer, sudden unexpected decrease in supply of hospital operating theatre nurses, increase in the take-up rate of a diagnostic test for a serious cancer following a high-profile celebrity case. अब अप्रोच समझते हैं. So you have to segregate your answer into three parts and comment कि if there is an improvement in recovery rate from cancer, तो how would the reserves for these products would be affected. एक एक प्रोडक्ट उठाओगे उसके रिजर्व पे आप कमेंट करोगे. So जैसे मान लो एक्सेलरेटेड क्लिनिकल इलनेस है, so as such we can expect that there should not be any change in reserve because payouts will be unchanged, policies not affected by recovery. अगर हम स्टैंड अलोन क्रिटिकल इलनेस की बात करें तो इसमें क्या डिपेंड करेगा, रेट ऑफ सर्वाइवल पे डिपेंड करेगा रिजर्व. ठीक है. सो इनकम प्रोटेक्शन में पेमेंट्स कुड बी एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी पेड फॉर अ शॉर्टर ड्यूरेशन बिकॉज पॉलिसी होल्डर्स मे बी एबल टू रिटर्न टू वर्क ऑन अ पार्ट टाइम बेसिस, रिड्यूस बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगे. तो इस टाइप से एक एक सेक्शन आप उठाओगे, एक एक पॉलिसी पे आप कमेंट करोगे. Sudden unexpected decrease in supply of hospital operating theatre nurses. So definitely PMI reserves impact होंगे because अगर nurses की supply में reduction होगी तो it can lead to increase in the wages that we are paying to the nurses. So this will put pressure on the cost. So reserves are expected to rise. Critical illness could be affected. मान लो अगर quality of care decline हो रहा है तो it can lead to increased rates of mortality. So critical illness reserves can also be affected. Next था increase in take-up rate of a diagnostic test for a serious cancer following a high-profile celebrity case. So PMI reserves definitely up because अगर मान लो PMI में हम screening cover कर रहे हैं तो PMI के तो reserves definitely बढ़ेंगे ही बढ़ेंगे. And this can increase claim rates on income protection as well. Similarly, if the cases are picked up early because of the screening, so they can be treated. So before we come to claim time, it is quite possible that the cases could be treated as well. So at that case, reserves can be reduced. So like this, again, मोर ऑफ एप्लीकेशन स्टाइल, मोर ऑफ कंटेंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्वेश्चन, कि हमें रिजर्व्स का किन किन चीज़ें रिजर्व्स को मैटर करती हैं, जैसे अगर मोर्टालिटी इंप्रूव हो रही है उस पर क्या रिजर्व पे आ रहा है, कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है तो रिजर्व्स पे क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा, एक प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिक कैसे जैसे हम इम्पैक्ट जज करेंगे। सो दिस इज इम्पैक्टिंग योर रिजर्व्स। प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिक कमेंट करना बहुत जरूरी है, जितना जनरल कमेंट करोगे उतना आप जनरल की तरफ जाते रहोगे, स्पेसिफिक होने के लिए प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिक कमेंट करना पड़ेगा। So any doubt so far? Moving on to the third question. So third question was, what are the objectives of healthcare benefits provided by government of a country? What are the methods government used to provide healthcare to its citizens? So this is direct now. Healthcare objectives, methods that government can use to provide healthcare to citizens. तो खुद से गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड कर दे, मीन्स मतलब सबको प्रोवाइड कर दो, मीन्स टेस्टेड बेनिफिट्स प्रोवाइड कर दो, एजुकेशन लाओ, अवेयरनेस लाओ, डायरेक्ट प्रोविजन करो, खुद से इस्टेब्लिश करो हॉस्पिटल्स, मे बी इनकम के फॉर्म में एनिटी प्रोवाइड करो. सो देर आर डिफरेंट वेज and you can mention those different ways. So there should be two segregation. Different objectives is your first part, then the methods could be your second part. So maybe first part may like we have to break down on our own. So it's a 6 marks question, maybe 2 marks for the first part, 4 marks for the second part, and 2 marks may 4 valid just one liners. And for the second part, maybe we can break down to 3 to 4 subheadings and 2 points for each subheading. Next thought, discuss the ways in which state healthcare provision may offer more comprehensive coverage than private health and care insurance and implications of this for insurers. So how states can provide basically more comprehensive coverage. It is quite possible that state can provide this care and treatment. Maybe state can allow cross subsidy, or if insurer sells products at a loss, it is quite possible that they're selling it only in the short term. So state can provide benefits for those maybe जिनका health बहुत ही ज़्यादा मतलब low चल रहा है, या they are not able to afford, so they can provide cover for those who have dangerous jobs. They can provide state immediately accident and emergency services provide कर सकता है. State can provide benefits for individuals who are not able to afford to purchase insurance themselves. यहाँ पर आपको बेसिकली स्टेट पे फोकस करना है कि स्टेट कौन से वो सेक्टर्स टारगेट कर सकता है जो शायद प्राइवेट नहीं करेगा. लास्ट पार्ट वाज a state which provides free healthcare has a large PMI market. Directors of one of the country's largest providers of PMI products have decided to lobby the government to change the taxation system so that those over age 60 who buy an individual PMI policy can deduct the premiums they pay from their income before it is taxed. So explain the advantages and disadvantages to the state of this system of subsidizing premiums. सो अगेन टेक द केस एडवांटेजेस अगर हम इसके सोचे तो बेसिकली क्या होगा, इट विल एनकरेज पीपल टू प्रोवाइड देयर ओन केयर, तो स्टेट पे रिलायंस कम होएगा. ठीक है, पॉजिटिव बेनिफिट आएगा स्टेट को. टैक्स चेंज बेसिकली इट्स लाइक अ स्टेट सब्सिडी ऑन प्रीमियम्स. ठीक है, तो प्रीमियम सब्सिडी कैन रिजल्ट इन दोज हु आर एजेड और बेसिकली ओवर 60, they become more aware of health, they take better care of themselves, and this can help in reducing long term costs. ठीक है, लेकिन अगर हम इसके डिसएडवांटेजेस डिस्कस करें, टैक्स रेवेन्यू डेफिनेटली ड्रॉप होगा ही होगा, एंड those who pay tax, they will be more affluent. Basically those who are under 60, they may complain for the subsidy that it should be extended to them as well. So administrative cost रहेगा manage करने का. Those who are close to 60, they might delay buying policies because otherwise they will not get tax benefit. So there are multiple advantages and disadvantages. So it's not difficult. It's an easy question. Last part was health insurance in the country is regulated. Regulator has recently put a restriction on the increase in the premium for those aged 60 and above. Outline the possible restrictions that can be imposed by the regulator of the country. What potential impact could the recent regulatory changes have on the insurers' pricing strategies and their ability to reprice existing products? So if you see the question, basically it has multiple parts. So if it has multiple parts, it's easy to answer, because ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें एक ही चीज को stretch करना है. We can have multiple parts question. It becomes easy because हमें एक चीज को बहुत सारी चीजें उसके समझ समझानी है कि क्या क्या रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हो सकती हैं। जैसे मान लो रिस्ट्रिक्शन प्रीमियम रेट्स पे है, रिस्ट्रिक्शन रेटिंग फैक्टर्स पे है, रिस्ट्रिक्शंस अंडरराइटिंग पे हो गई, फिर उसका इम्पैक्ट बताओ रिस्ट्रिक्शन का ऑन इंक्रीज इन प्रीमियम। Basically premium charged will not be sufficient to meet the costs and expenses, so it can increase cross subsidy among policy holders, and those policy holders who are less than 60, they might lapse their policies. So like this you have to explain. So it was a good question. 22 marks ka bahut acha. I would say if you have understood the content well, it was an easy question to gain. आराम से आपको इसमें 18-19 marks मिल सकते हैं if you are focusing on points. So any doubts in the first 3 parts? Because I hope अभी हम लोग I can understand that we are not doing exactly एक एक point नहीं अभी हम discuss कर रहे, एक general overview discuss कर रहे हैं, because I want to make you guys understand how to approach a question. So what segregates a prepared student from a non-prepared student is that sometimes we know too much, so we just struggle in writing extra which is not required, and sometimes we don't know much and we just try to incorporate only general points. So even that is not acceptable, and writing too much is also not acceptable. So first thing, it always, in order to score good in a theory paper, is to understand what to write. Then comes the second thing, how to write, and then comes the second thing, exactly what to write. So as of now, we are understanding how to write, then we will understand what to write. So what to write is already explained in multiple past papers lectures. As of now, the focus is how to write. Next, see, there are 3 more questions, 6 questions था. अभी अगर आप देखो last question, outline the data risk that health and care insurer faces. So again, straightforward question for 6 marks. सिर्फ आपको risk बताने हैं. Data not properly captured, data में errors हैं, data incomplete है, data में missing fields है, incorrect date है, मान लो unreasonable assumptions है, प्रीमियम इसकी वजह से हमने प्रीमियम गलत चार्ज कर लिया. सो सिर्फ और सिर्फ डेटा के बारे में आप कमेंट करोगे, प्रीमियम गलत चार्ज हो गया, वॉल्यूम्स ऑफ बिजनेस जितना सोचे थे उतने आए नहीं, लॉसेस आ गए कंपनी के लिए. सो ऑल दिस इज डेटा रिस्क. So again, outlining question, 6 marks question, 12 one liners required. Don't look at the standard solution, they just give you references. You will not get marks if you're just focusing on standard solution. There are multiple solutions of a same question in theory question. So when as an examiner we are checking the questions, we are advised that we have to focus on the keywords. So that is why you need to learn a lot. For example, we have just learned from our co-reading only that entry is not complete, missing fields, data not properly captured. So these words need to be there in your answer. 5th question. The government of a developed country is about to impose new legislation whereby it will be illegal to discriminate on the grounds of gender or age for the purposes of selling health insurance. So outline with examples the impact that this legislation may have on insurance companies writing short-term individual health insurance business. So basically you cannot use age and gender as a rating factor. So this we have discussed in recent lecture as well. So the impact किस पे depend करता है कि culture कैसा है, competition कैसा है, कौन सा product हम कैसे तरीके से मतलब प्रोडक्ट की सेलिंग कर रहे हैं. सो जो अभी तक एज और जेंडर को रेटिंग फैक्टर यूज करते थे, अब दे विल बी मोस्ट अफेक्टेड बिकॉज दे विल नो लॉन्गर बी एबल टू बेनिफिट फ्रॉम दिस एडवांटेज. जैसे पीएमआई के अंदर younger policy holders will subsidize older ones, so profits reduce होंगे because risky customers होंगे, लेकिन high profits भी होंगे from the less risky customers. ठीक है, एंटी सिलेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, expected claims बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएंगे, level of lapses can also increase, and those in worse health will be more likely to stay. So it can increase anti-selection again बहुत ज़्यादा. So this you have to focus. And actions that the companies can take to mitigate this. अब अगर हम rating अब gender और age नहीं ले सकते तो उसके proxies factors ले लो and exclusions लेके आओ. You need to change your product design. You can place some limits on the total amount. Maybe we can include features that are more attractive to the market. Maybe we need to do advertisement campaigns to promote the benefits of health insurance. Risk management techniques लेकर आओ, आप no claim discount system लेकर आओ. So multiple ways of mitigating this. Again, a good question, 12 marks. Good question, just a general understanding question. So you can see as of now they're not testing any direct book work. हमें कहीं पर भी कुछ भी direct book work नहीं मिला. But that does not mean कि book work cannot come. Book work can come in your exam. So don't you are not supposed to leave anything just because book work is not expected. Book work can be there in exam. So अगर book अच्छे से याद है तभी आप उसको application style questions में use कर सकते हो. Otherwise you won't be able to learn. Next, last question basically. A large health insurance company predominantly writing PMI products to individuals and groups is planning to launch conventional income protection product to individuals aged 55 years or below for a 10-year term. Product provides fixed benefit of X per year, where X does not exceed 50% of gross annual income of individual during all periods of sickness except the first year of sickness. Benefit ceases at the end of the term or poly death. Level monthly premium is payable at the start of each month, ceasing after 10 years or on earlier death. Premiums are waived during periods of sickness. So, discuss the drawbacks of using formula approach to calculate premium rates for the IP product. So, this is book work basically. You are just supposed to explain drawbacks of premium approach because अगर we are using formula approach तो multi-state models possible नहीं है, variations allow नहीं करता and changes अगर कुछ हो रहे हैं future experience में वो उसमें incorporate नहीं होते and basically accumulation of reserves को allow नहीं करता. So standard book work answer. Next है discuss all the assumptions in terms of their importance and consistency that are required to be set for pricing IP. This is very easy question. 9 marks में एक IP product की आप pricing कर रहे हो और उसमें आप क्या assumptions लोगे आपको उस पर focus करना है. जैसे mortality सबसे बड़ी assumption. Mortality of healthy lives की important नहीं है यहाँ पर. Basically it's the mortality of lives that in claims. Expense की assumption, expense inflation की assumption, lapses की assumption, कमीशन की assumption, clawback commission का अगर है तो investment return की assumption, business volumes, taxation, profit criteria हम कैसे set कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, and recovery rates क्या है, rate of continuation क्या है, so there are multiple assumptions. Just one liner for each assumption would help you to आपको सिर्फ उसकी importance बताने मतलब कि how important this assumption is. So this mortality is very important because otherwise anti-selection का issue आएगा. Expense assumption is important because this has to be consistent with volume of business, with mix of business. So good question. Next है the sales director of the company has expressed concern over poor sales of the product and suggested the following changes. Policy term should extend to age 65 instead of fixed 10 years for all entry ages. Benefit should be increased to 100% of gross annual income. Benefit should commence from day 1 of sickness. So comment on the pros and cons. Again, एक उठाओ, advantages, disadvantages. If you are increasing policy term to 65 instead of fixed 10 years, तो उससे होगा क्या? Definitely sales बढ़ेंगे ही बढ़ेंगे and term of the policy हो सकता है बहुत ज़्यादा भी बढ़ जाए. So premium rates will have to be reviewable because unpredictability ज़्यादा होगी. Maybe we need to build margins in pricing and reserving. So if benefit are increasing to 100% of gross annual income, so again this can increase sales because customers बढ़ेंगे, but expenses in disability may be less compared to those in normal. So expense can be restricted, ठीक है, and there can be differences in tax treatments as well of disability benefits and those who are regular income. So again need to comment based on this. Next था benefit should commence from day 1 of sickness. So again तीनों में sales बढ़ रही है because benefit will be paid for short term duration sickness as well. तो sales बढ़ेगी ही बढ़ेगी. लेकिन anti selection के बहुत chances बढ़ेंगे, claims underwriting की cost बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी, administration की cost बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी, number of claims बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो जाएंगे, high premiums definitely increase होंगे ही होंगे and लेकिन होगा क्या इससे zero deferred period रहेगा तो claimants can actually return to work because they will not have to serve another deferred period. So this can reduce claim costs, leading to reduced premium, increased sales. Next, discuss why the company may choose not to reinsure this product and outline the risk to the company of not reinsuring. अब मान लो reinsurance expensive है, ठीक है, indemnity product नहीं है, claim potential upside के chances बहुत मतलब upside claim potential is limited, कोई tax arbitrage नहीं है using reinsurance, मे बी दे आर फ्रू बहुत सारे फ्री एसेट्स अवेलेबल है, तो वो उनको लग रहा है कि हम खुद ही रिस्क ले सकते हैं, एंड मे बी दे आर वरीड अबाउट द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ री इंश्योरर्स, या फिर खुद के पास कंपनी के पास मेडिकल अंडरराइटिंग की बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपर्टीज है, तो एज सच आपको री इंश्योरर तब हम अप्रोच करते हैं जब एक तो बहुत ज्यादा क्लेम का साइज बहुत बड़ा हो, एग्रीगेशन ऑफ क्लेम्स के चांसेस हो, या फिर मुझे री इंश्योरेंस से टेक्निकल सर्विसेज चाहिए, टेक्निकल एडवाइस चाहिए। तो अगर वो कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए, कंपनी बहुत बड़ी है, बहुत सारे फ्री एसेट्स अवेलेबल है, रिस्क एपिटाइट बहुत ज्यादा रिस्की के सेंस में, तो हम खुद भी रिस्क ले सकते हैं, हम री इंश्योरेंस नहीं लेते। एंड रिस्क टू द कंपनी ऑफ नॉट री इंश्योरिंग, नया प्रोडक्ट है, कोई भी डेटा नहीं है, एग्रीगेशन ऑफ क्लेम्स, बिगर क्लेम्स, रिस्क नॉट जो अनएंटिसिपेटेड रिस्क आएंगे पुअर डिजाइनिंग की वजह से, और मान लो कॉम्पिटिटर इंश्योरर ले रहा है तो आप उसको आप नहीं लोगे, तो देर आर चांसेस दैट यू आर लूजिंग आउट कस्टमर्स, यू आर लूजिंग आउट विद सप्लायर्स, बैड पब्लिसिटी का रिस्क रहेगा, पुअर सेल्स का रिस्क रहेगा, इट इज क्वाइट पॉसिबल that there is lack of expertise. You need to hire experts for underwriting, which will increase administration costs. You need to compare whether your in-house cost is more or your outsourced cost is more. So with like this, you have to comment. So this entire May 2025 paper, I would say, is what completely application based, a difficult paper because कुछ भी content से नहीं आ रहा, it's completely application based. But एक ही चीज पे मैं बार बार आपको repeat करूंगी, these type of paper can definitely come in exam. These type of questions can actually repeat as well. So we need to be extra sure with the content. Focus on the key points, focus on the words given. If it says outlining, one liner. If it is describe, we can make subheadings. If it's a 4 to 5 marks describe, just try to explain, no headings. If it's a 7 to 8 marks describe, definitely headings are required. If it is multiple parts in question itself, so automatically multiple parts have to be there in my answer also. And if it's a question with say 2 to 3 parts, so similarly my answer also should have 2 to 3 parts. The more the parts are there in the question, the more easy it will become because you have multiple points to write. Question becomes difficult when say question like outline the data risk. This question is coming out for say 12 marks. Then it would be a difficult question because we don't have such data risk that अब फिर उसमें हम सब कुछ कमेंट करेंगे कि डेटा की वजह से assumptions गलत हो रही है, assumptions की वजह से एंटी सिलेक्शन हो रहा है, प्रीमियम गलत निकल के आए हैं, प्रीमियम गलत की वजह से बिजनेस वॉल्यूम्स लूज हो रही है, कंपटीशन रिस्क बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है, टैक्सेस बहुत ज्यादा पे करने पड़ रहे हैं. सो ऑल दिस वी विल बी गेटिंग इनटू डिटेल्स. So first you have to focus on primary points, then we will come to secondary points. So this was all about May 2025 discussion. So I hope this is clear to you. And I have actually checked with the team that there are multiple students who are not watching past papers lectures. So I would advise each and every one of you, irrespective of whether you're giving it from April or from May, that do attempt past papers on your own, and do make sure that you are attempting your unit tests as well, because see, it takes a lot of time from our side as well to provide individual feedback. But the feedbacks that you receive on individual level, it will help you a lot in understanding that where exactly you are going wrong, and that will help you for better preparation basically till your exam. And do watch all your past papers lectures videos, those are very very important. And as I say, it's not always that whatever points that we are discussing, there can be multiple points that you might feel should be there, and you might be correct in that. So if you feel in any particular question you are struggling, that your points are completely different from what we are discussing or what the standard solution is, you can always feel free to drop a mail for the same, and I can just quickly check your points and we'll get back to you. So that was it, what I wanted to communicate in today's session. If there is anything, you can comment. Otherwise, we are good to wrap up for the day. Okay, then if there is nothing, then that's it for the day from my side. Thank you.